Hey everyone, I want to show you a new paper on HARs. What are HARs? Human Accelerated Regions, HARs. Certain regions of our genome are referred to as HARs. Why is that? Now remember, our genome is composed of nucleotides. There are pairs of these nucleotides, more than 3 billion pairs. They come in 4 types, A, T, G, and C, adenine, thymine, guanine, cytosine. And certain regions are referred to as HARs. I'll explain why, and I'll explain this paper, and I'll explain why the whole idea here is an abuse of science, including the acronym itself, HARs. So let's have a look. Here is the New Scientist article on this research. You see the title, Rapidly Evolving Bits of DNA Helped Develop the Human Brain. That's interesting. They talk quite a bit about evolution here. These HARs played a key role in the evolution of the human brain. Skipping down, our evolution has changed these regions. More about evolution here of our brains. Again, more about evolution. So quite a bit about evolution, but then there's something about human brain development. And these HARs probably affect human brain development. So they're talking both about evolution and about the development. Now, development is what happens when you're a baby, and evolution is what happens over the course of eons of time when new species evolve according to evolutionary theory. So what's going on here? Let's look at the paper. Here is the paper, and we see here it talks about neurodevelopmental enhancers. So this is the how HARs influence development of the brain. More about development here. And then we look at the summary. Human accelerated regions, HARs, are the fastest evolving regions of the human genome. So here we're back to evolution again. The fastest evolving regions of the human genome. How do they know this? What's the evidence behind this? What's going on here? Let's look at this. So they're making 2 claims. One is about the development. HARs are important in human brain development. Number 2, HARs are the fastest evolving regions in the human genome. One's about development, one's about evolution. What's going on? So for number 1, they actually do have solid scientific wet lab research that they've done, which suggests that these HARs are important for brain development. They write here, moreover, we demonstrate that human-specific sequence changes within HARs largely augment their enhancer activity within neuronal cells. A lot of jargon there, but they're talking about development of the human brain. Okay, so for number 1, green check mark, they have some empirical evidence that HARs are important in human brain development. Very good. What about this number 2 here? HARs are defined as genomic elements that are highly conserved across non-human mammals, but also show rapid sequence changes selectively in the human lineage. What's going on here? Let's map this out here. So first, HARs tend to be conserved in non-human mammals. So this box represents the non-human mammals. And then we go to the human species, where HARs are different. So what does this mean? Well, for evolutionists, they're assuming that because the time period between the non-human mammals and humans in terms of evolutionary history is short, this time period is short, these HARs, which are different than the non-human mammals, must have evolved rapidly. Okay, so number two here, the claim about evolution and how HARs are rapidly evolving. This is based on the assumption that evolution occurred. All this reasoning here that I've mapped, that I've laid out, is based on the assumption that evolution occurred. So there is no independent evidence for this. There's no scientific evidence that these regions are rapidly evolving, as they say. When you hear that, when you hear this term HAR, human accelerated regions, this is based on the assumption that evolution is true, and there's no scientific evidence for it. So we give it the red X here. This is phony science. Human accelerated region, this acronym, human accelerated region, there's no scientific evidence that they accelerated. This is all based on the a priori assumption of evolution, which is full of problems. The acronym itself, human accelerated region, is itself phony science. Okay, but unfortunately, it gets worse, much worse. The new research itself demolishes evolution. Let's have a look at this. So there are thousands of these HARs, and what they identified were several hundreds that were probably important in the development of the human brain. In fact, conservatively, they boiled it down to 210 HARs that are significantly important, okay? There are at least 210 HARs that are critical in human brain development. And according to evolution, these sequences evolved recently and rapidly. How long are these HARs? Well, the median value is 269 nucleotides. The average, of course, would be much larger than that. So let's just use 269 as the mean length to be conservative. So we have 210 HARs, an average length of 269 nucleotides, and let's just be very conservative and assume that 1%, only 1% of this sequence is crucial. So you end up with 565 mutations in total that are crucial in the development of the human brain in these HARs regions. These mutations would have to be coordinated somehow. It would be a real stretch. It is beyond plausibility that these 565 mutations are simply all independent and have nothing to do with each other. There's certainly going to be some coordination here. Well, if you need more than something like 4 or 5 simultaneous mutations, evolution is demolished. I mean, evolution simply cannot have this kind of number of coordinated mutations. This research just demolishes evolution. 565 mutations, and again, that's very conservative. I mean, even if you have just one mutation, one crucial mutation per HAR, that's 210, still way beyond the threshold of evolution. Evolution is demolished by this research. This is phony science to be framing this all under evolution. Religion drives science, and it matters.